starts right now.
Good afternoon. New at noon, a missing San Antonio girl found more than 1,000 miles away. And now the person accused of kidnapping her is indicted for the crime. Police accusing 61-year-old Stephen Robert Sablin of kidnapping the 13-year-old girl at gunpoint and taking her to California. It happened earlier this month when officers say Sablin forced her into a car while she was walking down the street. Then 3 days later, while Sablin was busy inside a laundromat in California, the girl wrote, "Help me," on a piece of paper and then used it to get people's attention. It worked. Someone called police. Sablin was arrested and charged with 1 count of kidnapping and 1 count of transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. He is scheduled to be arraigned on July 31st, and if convicted, he may face up to life in prison. A Universal City man found guilty for his actions during the January 6th Capitol breach. 53-year-old Stephen Cappuccio, convicted of 6 felony counts, including assaulting law enforcement officers, robbery, and disorderly conduct. Cappuccio was first arrested on August 10th. More than 570 suspects have been arrested in nearly all 50 states for crimes related to the breach on that day. Investigators hoping that one person can answer for all of the fire damage at 3 homes. They took that man into custody at the fire scene at West Poplar Street, not too far from I-35 and San Pedro Avenue. Katrina Weber reports neighbors say this is not the first time fires have happened here, and they fear not the last either.
Part of the battle already had been lost when firefighters arrived in the 800 block of West Poplar. A vacant home that went up in flames after 5:30 this morning already was falling down under the heat when they got here. The fire also was quickly spreading to 2 other vacant homes next door.
I thought it was my house because I get a message from my mom. She was like, "Get home now." And I see the flames too. I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Jeremy Hernandez had just left a nightclub when he saw the troubling smoke signals. Luckily, his family home was okay. Neighbors up and down the street were worried too.
My heart's still like, I'm still in shock. I'm like, I'm glad no one was in there. I'm glad everyone's okay.
I was here, 3 months ago, they burned the house next door. The same thing.
Across the street, Victor Villarreal watched it unfold again this morning. And that's not all he has seen. He says people regularly go in and out of the boarded up homes. By all accounts, there was no one officially living in any of these homes, and firefighters say there were no working utilities. So they're convinced this fire was no accident.
It shouldn't be catch on fire like that. I mean, in less than 30 minutes, it's gone.
Fire investigators are questioning one man to see if he might know how that happened. Police detained him after they say he ran into the middle of the fire scene. We don't know yet whether he will face any charges. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam. We are probably going to hit another record today, but not break it, right, Mia?
Probably just tie it. As of right now, we've got that forecast high around 102, and if that verifies later this afternoon, that would tie the record of 102 that was set just last year. So yes, another triple-digit day in the works for us here in San Antonio as we get ready to wrap up the work week and head into the upcoming weekend. And spoiler alert, those triple digits are not going anywhere, but we do have a subtle pattern shift that could mean a stray to isolated rain chance tomorrow and into Sunday. More on that in just a bit. But yes, right now, stepping out for any lunchtime plans, it is already plenty hot out there. Those thermometers climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. 89 officially over at SA International, 90 in Bulverde. It's 90 on the east side in Converse, 84 in Pleasanton, 89 in Hondo. But of course, when you factor in what's left of the humidity, those heat index values are just a few degrees hotter. The good news is, though, as we head into this afternoon, I do think we will see a little bit more drier air mixed down to the surface, which means that those heat index values shouldn't stray too far away from the actual air temperature, but it is still going to be a hot one. 100 degrees by 3 p.m., plenty of sunshine, 102 by 5, and then, of course, still plenty hot if you're stepping out for any Friday evening plans with those thermometers slowly falling into the 90s. Now, Now, looking ahead, those triple digits are going to continue. That heat high moves ever so slightly west, but it's not completely going to go away. But as it does work farther west, there is the potential that we see a little boundary working from the north tomorrow, and especially on Sunday in the afternoon and evening. And yes, a few isolated showers to a stray rumble, not off the table. So we'll get you a look, the latest version of our Futurecast, and what we'll be monitoring in the days ahead coming up in just a few. Ursula.
Thank you so much, Mia. This noon, the search continuing for a missing man nearly a month after he disappeared. San Antonio police looking for 80-year-old Victor Flores. He was last seen on June 28th in the downtown area near North Alamo Street. Police say he has a scar on his forehead. If you've seen him or you know where police can find him, you're being asked to call the SAPD's Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660. Police in Pflugerville say there may be another victim tied to a possible serial killer investigation. Earlier this month, 14 FBI agents spent hours combing through fields and gathering evidence. And that's when they found a grave site and a partially burned body, or rather partially burned clothes and a tarp, but they did not find an actual human remain there. Police are searching the area again. They want to make sure the grave site did not contain a body. The scene is just a few blocks away from the home of Jesse Fraga. One of the victims, Raul Mesa, is accused of killing. A man dead after a shooting at Woodspring Suites near I-35 in Eisenhower on the northeast side. San Antonio police say that a man and his girlfriend were in the parking lot around 3 o'clock in the morning when they were approached by someone they didn't know. That person wearing all black. They approached them, started to bother them. Then the guy tried to grab the woman. The man intervened, and that's when police say the suspect shot the man, killing him right there. The suspect took off in a black-colored vehicle. At last check, they are still searching for the shooter. New details in a stabbing investigation this noon. Police saying a suspect asked a man for a cigarette, but when he didn't get it, he allegedly stabbed the person. Police tell us the victim was at a bus stop just north of downtown when the suspect walked up to him. Police say the suspect got angry because the victim told him he didn't have any cigarettes. The suspect detained by a security guard who was working nearby until the police got there. That victim is expected to be okay. Escalating tensions between the U.S. and North Korea, once again in the form of nuclear threats. It's in large part due to the U.S. doing something it has not done in decades. ABC's Ike Ajachi with the nuclear-capable submarine that the U.S. has now docked in the Korean peninsula.
Tensions are rising. North Korea threatening to use nuclear weapons after the U.S. showed military support for South Korea by docking the USS Kentucky, a nuclear-capable ballistic submarine, right in the Korean peninsula. Sources tell ABC News the warship has since moved on. Still, military officials say the North's threat of nuclear retaliation is indefensible.
Rhetoric like that, it's incredibly dangerous. We're not there to instigate.
And now South Korea's defense minister issuing a stark warning to the North, saying it will end its regime if they decide to use its nuclear weapons. The show of support by the U.S. was the first time in 4 decades an American nuclear submarine docked in South Korea. ABC's Martha Raddatz on board the USS Kentucky for an exclusive look.
The Navy will not say publicly that there are nuclear weapons on board this submarine, but make no mistake, I am standing on top of hundreds of nuclear warheads.
The nuclear submarine is more than 200 miles south of the DMZ, the border that divides South and North Korea. This is where the Pentagon says 23-year-old American soldier Travis King intentionally crossed over this week without authorization.
We don't know his condition. We don't know where he's being held. We don't know the status of his health.
The State Department says they've reached out to its counterparts in North Korea, but they've yet to receive an answer. They say it can take days or even weeks to hear back. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Technology can make your life easier, but it can also create some new problems. And now scammers are taking advantage of a legal loophole to trick people who use online banking out of millions of dollars. We'll show you how they're getting away with it. While the summer heat is nothing new, this year it seems to have an even tighter grip on more communities across the country. And there's other nasty weather brewing too. Where that is next. Heat records continuing to be shattered. Yet another day across our country. We here are due to at least hit the record high in San Antonio. ABC's Morgan Norwood with why some areas are buckling down for even more hot weather.
As Phoenix, Arizona enters day 22 of temperatures above 110 degrees, firefighters enduring the worst heat wave on record after a massive blaze erupted overnight, the explosion sending tanks flying into the air like missiles.
We have evidence of propane tanks up to 500 yards past the ground zero where this is actually happening.
In Texas, dramatic moments as a baby is rescued from a hot car. The child's father seen here breaking the windshield, pulling the infant to safety. In Jacksonville, Florida, a 10-month-old, the latest victim of the heat. A babysitter now charged with manslaughter after police say she inadvertently left the girl inside a car with temperatures in the mid-90s.
It's a tragic case with tragic consequences and will have consequences.
Further south of Miami, a city baking for 40 days under heat indexes of more than 100 degrees, while they're in for a 1-2 punch as Saharan dust moves into South Florida, making for hazy skies and even hotter temperatures.
The more we become consumed by it, our air quality worsens, then it'll become a bigger risk factor for us as a community.
And that sweltering heat isn't the only weather threat. Severe storms and flooding are possible today from Memphis to Atlanta, also into the Northeast. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Let's take a look outside with the live cam. 92 degrees, right on schedule. You know?
Yep.
Some folks have it worse than this. We got to keep saying that.
That is true. And of course, even earlier this week, we topped off at 104. Today, the forecast high 102. So I guess it could be worse, right? All right, so look at our aquifer level for this Friday. Up 1/10 of a foot at 628.1. Definitely could be doing better in terms of the aquifer as well. Our pollen count, pigweed makes a return. Low, molds are still low, so that's good as well. Again, we do have isolated rain chances that return to the forecast before the upcoming weekend is over. So we'll get you a look at that, plus the latest drought monitor that was released yesterday after the break.
We have an update on our KSAT community phone bank yesterday. The goal, raise money for Project Mend, and we did that. We're happy to report we raised a total of $4,700. This all leading up to Project Mend annual citywide donation drive happening this weekend. You can drop off any type of medical equipment at the Wonderland of the Americas, new or used. It's tomorrow from 9 to 1 p.m. If you'd like some more information, you can check out KSATcommunity.com. Project Mend, the oldest and largest licensed nonprofit that accepts and repurposes medical equipment. So if you have some old crutches hanging out, go for it. That's all you need. Wonderland of the Americas is where you donate all that to. All right, so I'm not sure if they're taking fans at Project Mend, but that might not be a bad idea.
I don't think so, yeah.
Leftover air conditioners?
That would probably be a very good idea right about now because, yes, the triple digits, they are not going anywhere. We will see that small, subtle pattern shift this weekend, which could lead to those isolated chances for rain, but that's only going to affect a few of us, and unfortunately, not all of us. That is still going to be the heat for the main story there. So let's get you a look. Once again, those current conditions outside. Plenty of sunshine here in San Antonio. 89 degrees officially over at SA International, a dew point of 68. So, of course, those heat index values have already been able to creep up into the low 90s here. And as we continue on through the afternoon, I do think we will still find plenty of sunshine out there. 98 already by 2 p.m. We've got that forecast high of 102, which would tie the existing record high for today that was set just 365 days ago. And then if you're stepping out for any Friday evening plans, just prepare for more heat. Those thermometers slowly falling through the 90s under mostly clear skies and eventually into the 80s later on tonight, 88 by 11 p.m. So yes, gearing up for another scorcher of a day. 102 in Hondo, same in Pleasanton, 107 in Carrizo Springs, stretching over to Del Rio, 99 in Rock Springs, 102 out east in Gonzales, zooming this in closer to the San Antonio metro. 100 in Helotes, 100 in Bernie, 101 in the Canyon Lake area, and 102 out in Floresville there in Wilson County. So we've been talking about that heat high pressure. It's been in control of our weather pattern over the past several days. Overall, it's not going to completely go away. So you can see still a lot of pink here on this map. Daily chances to climb into the triple digits expected not just this weekend, but that continues throughout the majority of next week as well. Here's where those different centers of high pressure currently sit. We've got one off to our east closer to Louisiana and Mississippi, and then this main center of high pressure, which is already starting to anchor itself over the desert southwest and closer to the Four Corners region. As we advance this on in time, notice by early tomorrow morning before the sun comes up, that's where it's going to stay, moving ever so slightly to the west. And as it does so, I think it's going to leave just enough space for a little boundary to work in from the north. We've got a 10% chance for a stray shower tomorrow evening, and then a slightly better potential right now at about a 20% by Sunday afternoon and into Sunday evening as well. So it's not going to be for everybody. In fact, more of us than not will likely miss out, but at least it's something, and we could definitely use the rain. Since June 1st, just over an inch here in town. That's over 4 inches below where we should be, though, for this time in July. Since the start of the year, just under 13 inches, but that is still 5 inches below where we should be. So we still have some work to do when it comes to finding some better rain chances. Hopefully we can find a more significant pattern shift as we head into August. You can see, though, the lack of rainfall that we, I guess, really haven't seen reflected in the latest drought monitor update that was released on Thursday. And we have seen more extreme to even exceptional drought. This red and maroon color that has been expanded now has moved into the northern half of Bexar County and across a larger portion of hill country real estate. So we'll cross our fingers and see what we can find out there, especially by the back half of the weekend's plans. Then after that, Ursula, it's more high pressure and more heat that takes us through next week.
We're going to break some records.
Potentially so.
Oh, yeah. All right, whether it's through apps like Venmo or online banking, managing your money's never been easier, but it's also easier for the crooks to take advantage. A scam recently cleaned out a woman's bank account, and there is nothing she can do about it. Here's the warning coming up. Just when you may have thought you had control of your banking, the crooks find a new way in. Becky Worley with ABC on how to protect yourself from a new sophisticated scam intended to part you from your money.
Courtney Black says she received a text message appearing to be from her bank, Chase.
I got a text message that said, "Did you authorize a wire transfer?" I texted back no. 2 minutes later, I get a phone call from a 1-800 number. And I answered it.
She says the caller identified himself as a Chase employee, and he would help her cancel the fraudulent transfer.
He told me, "You need to enter this account number," because that's the account it was going to. Section by section, he was telling me how to do it.
Black says she saw all the money in her accounts disappear, but that the scammer promised this was all a part of the wire reversal process.
The next morning, I kind of got like a gut feeling something wasn't right. And I called Chase, and they were like, "No, you were scammed."
In the end, she says she lost more than $11,000. Black says the scammer knew her date of birth, the last 4 digits of her Social Security number, her Chase account number, and her balance.
Well, there's a lot of information that is on the dark web.
Scott Augenbaum, a former FBI agent, says stolen passwords and usernames from other website data breaches could be how Courtney's account was compromised.
The cyber criminals are banking on the fact that 66% of the population is using the same password from mission-critical platforms.
He says that hacked user data can be used to log into other website accounts if the same usernames and passwords are reused. To fight this, some banks send you a code anytime a transfer of money is initiated. And he says that's what the scammers targeting Courtney were after. And she gave them the code. But many advocates say there should be more safeguards. The Electronic Funds Transfer Act and the Truth in Lending Act protect certain types of money transfers, but not all.
If a consumer disputes it with the bank or the creditor, then they have to investigate, and if they determine it's unauthorized, they reimburse the consumer. But there's a huge loophole for wire transfers. Those are excluded.
Sanchez Adams says she and the National Consumer Law Center have advocated for Congress to change these laws.
And it just seems so crazy to me that all of these transactions that are not wires are protected by federal law, and wires are not protected.
For now, Chase has denied Black's claims, telling GMA these types of scams are heartbreaking, and we urge all consumers to ignore phone, text, or internet requests for money or access to their computer or bank accounts. Legitimate companies won't make these requests, but scammers will.
Good advice there. New today at 5, back to school shopping for college. It's more than pens and pencils and backpacks. There's the dorm room to consider. So 12 Underside's Marilyn Moore is tracking down some of the deals on dorm life essentials. I could use this info today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. And it's a Barbie world on SA Live. Oh, Mike's got Barbie mania. Yeah. I have my own Barbie. You didn't know that? Just kidding. A pregnant migrant says that Texas National Guard members denied her water when she was trying to cross the border. She said they were looking to turn themselves in to U.S. immigration authorities last week. The woman, 6 months pregnant, says that she and her husband were trying to cross the Rio Grande. They were met by the Guard members who told them return to Mexico. She says she asked for water several times, but the guards told her they couldn't give it to them. Paramedics eventually arrived and helped her, and then U.S. immigration authorities processed the woman and her husband. So far, no comment from the Texas National Guard, which the U.S. Justice Department says it is assessing for complaints like these. The investigation that began in Long Island, New York, now nationwide. Right now, police in South Carolina trying to link the accused serial killer from Long Island to another murder in their state. Police in Rock Hill say Elia Bell disappeared in 2014. The 18-year-old vanished about 20 miles from where Rex Heuermann owned vacant lots in South Carolina.
It's kind of scary because I live on this street. He kind of stays to himself. I'd see him come up down the road. He'd throw his finger up and wave.
Heuermann is already charged with murdering 3 young women in New York more than a decade ago. He pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to those crimes, but police in several more states are investigating to see if he's linked to more cases in their states as well. The Pentagon says the U.S. deploying thousands of Marines to the Middle East. It's in response to recent attempts by Iran to seize commercial shipping vessels, some of which involved gunfire. For example, earlier this month, the U.S. stopped Iran from seizing 2 tankers in the Gulf of Oman. An Iranian vessel even opened fire on a tanker. But new forces being deployed will likely consist of 3 ships and approximately 2,400 Marines. Turkish state media putting out a warning to Russia. It's due to Russia accusing Ukraine of not supplying enough grain for it to keep the Black Sea grain deal operating. Turkey said it will not hesitate to take the initiative needed to prevent the, quote, harmful effects, unquote, of Russia pulling out of the deal. The Turkish president hailed that grain deal as a vital initiative for humanity, outlining Turkey's commitment to shoring up its future. Leading artificial intelligence companies committing to some new safety procedures, but this is only voluntary. 7 companies have agreed to put new AI systems through outside testing before they are publicly released. AI-generated content will also be clearly labeled to help combat fraud and misinformation. The companies that have included signing on this are Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Inflection. We are gearing up for a hot one today. Not as hot, really. It's the last couple of days, but still potentially record-breaking.
Yep, it is going to pack a punch, that is for sure, with the heat continuing. And really, it's not going anywhere this weekend and through next week. This summertime heat pattern just really in control of South Central Texas. Let's get you a look at those current conditions outside. Upper 80s, but more so low 90s already, with plenty of sunshine out there this noon hour. 91 at Stinson, 92 at Kelly, 90 on the east side over there at Randolph. Winds generally out of the south-southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 93 already out east in Gonzales, same in Carrizo Springs. Low 90s for places like Kerrville, stretching over to Rock Springs out there in the hill country. 91 in Eagle Pass, 89 for places like Hondo as well as Uvalde, with plenty of sunshine sticking with us this Friday. You can see that, yes, we could potentially tie the existing record high. We've got that forecast high pointed around 102, already 100 by 3 p.m. And then, of course, if you're stepping out for any of those evening plans, still plan for mostly clear skies, but it is going to be hot with those thermometers gradually falling through the 90s. And we've been talking about how the heat is not going anywhere. Daily opportunities to climb into the triple digits. Stick with us Saturday and into Sunday and even into next week. Looking here at your 3-day forecast, it is going to be muggy in the upper 70s for the mornings as well. But with that high pressure system moving farther west, a 10% chance for a stray shower tomorrow, followed by a 20% chance for a few isolated showers and storms returns on Sunday. So we'll definitely see what we can find over the next 48 hours. We'll have a full look at your futurecast and all those details coming up in just a few.
The weekend is here, but we have a lot to look forward to in terms of those closures, so just make sure you plan that commute ahead of time. This is the big one. Loop 1604 over on the northwest side of Bexar County, I should say. We have the North Expansion Project. Now, if you remember this, we saw a full closure last weekend. Well, that's expected to ramp up, but this time on Sunday, July 24th. This should wrap hopefully Monday, July 25th, and it is overnight, so that's the good news. It all starts at 9 in the evening, should wrap at 5 in the morning. Here's what we're going to see out there, guys. Loop 1604 westbound, that's from Lock Hill-Selma Road to I-10, and then Loop 1604 eastbound from Chase Hill Boulevard to Lock Hill-Selma Road. Full closures out there, so just watch out. Make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time. Let's jump over to 281 because this will take place later Monday morning, July 24th, and it should wrap on Saturday, July 29th. This work will start at 9 in the morning, and fingers crossed, that'll wrap around 3 in the afternoon. Alternating lane closures in both directions, that's north and south at Borgfeld Road. Got one more for you here, and this is going to take us to I-10 over on the east side of Bexar County. Now, this work starts on Sunday, July 30th and should wrap on Friday, August 4th, but this is overhead sign replacement. The work does start at 9 in the evening and should finish, let's keep our fingers crossed, 6 in the morning. Full westbound main lane closures from Scenic Loop to FM 1516. Lots happening in our area. Scan the QR code. This takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. I have a full list of all the closures that could impact your commute, so know what to expect ahead of time.
We've got some breaking news. We just learned from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office that an inmate has died after attempting suicide. 23-year-old Kiernan Christopher Williams was in jail for a capital murder charge in 2020. BCSO says during face-to-face observation checks, they discovered that Williams was attempting suicide. The San Antonio Fire Department was called out to assist, but Williams was pronounced dead just after midnight this morning. All eyes on Team USA as the ladies get ready to hit the pitch and make their 2023 World Cup review. How about debut? How the team stacks up against the competition next. And a diver that spends his time finding lost treasures, surprising even himself with the latest discovery, the depths he had to go to in order to find a wedding ring. UTSA unveiling some fresh new digs for athletes, and they're hoping it'll help entice future prospects. We're going to take a look at the facilities after the break.